Hey everybody, this is Joe Baker with the Edit Bay. Welcome to my review of Red Giant's Universe 2.0, a suite of third-party plugins used in this bumper. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with Universe, it's a rather eclectic collection of plugins and transitions that can be used in several host apps, including After Effects, Premiere Pro, and Final Cut. A little over a year ago, Red Giant released their first version of Universe and offered 3 different pricing options, all of which were subscription-based. The basic option, which at the time was free, more on that later, gave you access to a small handful of barely useful transitions and effects plugins. They did, and still do, offer a yearly membership that can be paid in full or on a monthly schedule. They also offer a lifetime membership to Universe for about $400. This latest release did away with the free option, although I'll note, if you were a Universe member prior to the 2.0 release, you are able to keep your legacy plugins, they just won't be updated moving forward. So now we're kind of forced into the annual subscription, but this includes a wide selection of tools and effects. My biggest complaint about the first version is that the effects were not all that great. At least I didn't find much of a use for them with the type of work that I do. So although my initial reaction to their doing away with the free tools wasn't great, I have to say they really put some thought into the new tools they added, as well as revamping and updating the existing tools. So before I cover some of the tools that were used in the bumper, let's take a look at some of the legacy plugins that have received a facelift. First off, Camera Shake. Camera Shake has been around since the first version of Universe, and while Red Giant puts out some amazing software apps, this was not one of them. It only allowed you to shake your footage on the X-axis. Cameras don't shake on only one axis, so it looked really ridiculous. This effect was simply unusable. However, the updated version includes controls for all 3 axes as well as some very realistic presets that can be previewed in the preset browser. The legacy version included Unmult for free, and it was extremely handy. It allowed you to quickly and easily remove black backgrounds from footage, and now it has even more control. Red Giant has always put a ton of time and effort into creating professional-looking presets for their various plugins. Presets are now even easier to preview with the new preset browser. In addition to offering features that may not be native to your host app, plugins are supposed to speed up your workflow. Being able to audition different looks in practically real time is a much welcomed addition. So we don't have nearly enough time to go through every single one of these, but let me show you how quickly and easily I was able to set up this bumper. Now, the 3D elements like this corridor and then this thing in the middle, this is called a trophy, that I used as my HUD projector are available in Video Copilot's Element 3D plugin, but everything else you see here was created in Universe 2.0. The big one they added this time around was called HUD Components. This allows you to add a variety of HUD elements to your scene with a ton of control. The number of controls in this one would rival Particular. I kept it simple here, but it was all animated from within the plugin. And I was able to use a practically drag and drop plugin called Point Zoom to add this kind of light rays effect to the HUD element right here to make it really look like it was projected from this element here. You could kind of think of this as a radial blur that works backwards. You apply it to the layer that you want it on, and then you simply drag around this point to where you want the light to emit from. In the future, we can project heads-up displays onto absolutely nothing in midair, but for some reason we still experience analog-style glitches and distortion. Even in the future, nothing works. So you'll more than likely want to use Holomatrix II in conjunction with heads-up display components. This too has an abundance of controls and keyframeable parameters, but in most cases, one of their well-thought-out presets will get you most of the way there. Just surf through the preset browser to make your search quick and easy, click on one of them, and hit select. I took it a bit further when I brought in the text here with the glitch effect. This is also available as a transition that can easily be used in Premiere or Final Cut, and with the same preset browser. On a side note, Universe transitions are also accessible in After Effects. However, as I'm sure you're aware, using transitions in After Effects is a bit more work. Lastly, I used Null Light Factory to create the lens flares. Universe ships with Null Light Factory EZ, as well as a lens flare / light leak transition called Half Light. So my final thoughts on these tools is that Red Giant really delivered on this one. Universe was originally promised to be an ever-expanding set of tools that would evolve based on user feedback. So although I feel like their first year or so was a little slow going, I think they've developed some very useful tools with this version. I'll add that the tools feel more responsive this time around. They've always been GPU accelerated, but I experienced quite a few hangs and crashes with the first version. The GPU acceleration is important to keep in mind if you're not currently a Universe member. Universe has what seems like an overabundance of redundant tools that are probably already available in your host app. But the tools in your host app may or may not be accelerated. I do hope to see Red Giant release additional updates and effects on a more frequent basis now that paid subscriptions are our only option. Well folks, that concludes my review of Universe 2.0. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the box below. I'm Joe Baker with the Edit Bay. Thanks for watching.